girl. So anytime we're teaching new skills, we always want to keep it interesting. So not only are we working on leash skills, that's okay, she's thinking about it, her little toes are touching it, she's not 100% sure about this object. Are you looking at Jim, or are you not sure? Good girl. I'm going to verbally praise her looking at that. Good girl. Good girl. Anytime we're teaching new skills, we always want to keep it interesting. With a dog this intelligent, good girl, we're going to have to also keep ourselves sharp, right? Good girl. And the object of this, stepping up on the blocks, is not only is it really good for her muscles, it teaches her that we are in control of where her feet, where her body, I don't want that. Good girl. There we go. Because she wants to hit me with her feet, I'm going to give her something to put her feet on that is not me. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. This teaches her how to balance and control her body. These are also great exercises for dogs that like to jump, because eventually what we will do is we'll say, do step up, good girl, do off, good girl, good girl. And so say she's in your spot on the couch, or say she's laying on your spot in the bed. All the time, you know, like if I'm getting ready for bed, my dogs are already in the bed and they're probably laying on my pillows. I'm going to have to ask them to move. Doing that in a respectful way is very important. In the same way that you would not just ask a person, you know, you wouldn't walk up to someone and be like, hey, get out of my way. You don't want to do that to your dogs either, because subconsciously, when you use certain types of verbiage and when you use a certain tone, it subconsciously creates an emotion within you. So I was telling another one of my clients, so if you start raising your voice, you're subconsciously also pissing yourself off for no reason, right? If we start raising our voice, it's not that if we talk all the way down here, our dog can still hear us, even if we're whispering. Yeah, you hear Moneypenny doing her little chihuahua screech. Good girl. See? Oh, are you okay, sweetheart? Okay, well, we may be done with this for right now. You haven't really been limping. Yeah, okay, are you fine? Let's walk. Want to take a little walkie poo? I don't really think it's her feet. I think it's her shoulder. I think her shoulder gets stiff, which is definitely conducive to being a little bit of a growing pain. Also, yeah, you hear Moneypenny. That other harness that I was telling you about, that I'm going to send you a link for. That other harness will adjust to her in all the areas, not just around the middle, because fitting her across the chest, it's equally as important as it fitting them around the middle. No, ma'am. Sorry. See, and again, I'm used to telling a dog no and then ma'am, sir, or whatever. I have to get used to saying instead to her and not ever using the word no, because it rhymes with her name. Hi, sweetheart. Good girl. And we're just going to make one quick pass. Relax. Good girl. Good girl, yep. She's having to think about how to move her body. Good girl. There you go. Good girl, doe baby. Bark. Yeah, you see Zeppelin? Good girl. Verbally praise her looking back. Good sit. Hi, good girl. Good girl. That's okay. She's just ready to move forward. Sometimes moving forward is the reward. Screw the treat, right? Yeah, you see my dogs. They're good. what am I going to do first? I am going to shorten up my leash. And what are we not going to do when she's pulling? Move forward. I am going to make myself, I don't know if you've ever lunged any horses or even watched it be done, but lunging, I don't know, you may have. Please don't think I'm insulting your horse intelligence. I just have no idea what you know. That's fine. Good girl. Lunging is when you work the horse around you on a line in a circle. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. It helps them continue to move their body. So, that's why we do it with dogs. Whenever a dog's feet stop and their eyes lock onto something, you've lost their mind, right? Not they've lost their mind, but you have lost their focus and you've lost their attention. Our goal is to always be the most interesting thing to our dog and to have their attention as much of the time as possible. And if nothing else, good girl, get their attention when we ask for it. That was my fault for giving her that. You're fine. A lot going on right here. This is why we're going to keep walking. Because I don't want her mind to stop and fixate on something. I want her mind to focus on me. And this is with anything, right? I had Titan over at the barn earlier. He's not a huge fan of chickens. He wants to eat them, rather. Yeah, you're good. Now she's yeah, there you go. Good girl. Good girl. I had Titan at the barn earlier. He wanted to eat one of the chickens. We're going to lunge a little bit. I'm going to work you around me. Dogs with really high energy, this is a very, very beneficial skill, especially when you're introducing dogs to new places, new concepts, but especially new places or new stimulus just in general. We want to give them the ability to move. Not every dog is going to be able to just sit and look at you, at least not in the beginning, right? That is a very advanced skill. And a lot of trainers go, oh, well, you should ask them for that automatically. I agree and disagree in the way that if a dog does not want to sit, that's okay. I'm not going to force you to stay in this spot. We can move around a little bit. That is beneficial for their brain, okay? Did you get it stuck? Did you get it? Is it in your... Okay, cool, you got it. Good. See how she's more relaxed? We can walk forward now. That's totally fine. Good girl. Good girl, Doe. Do you see how much calmer she is right now than she was literally just a couple minutes ago? It's because we're not going forward in the chaos, right? The chaos has to stop, and then we can go forward. Good girl. But that's all we're going to do for right now. Short, like 10-15-minute sessions are really good whenever you're starting out. Even shorter, like if I were teaching her a new game or a new skill, we'll do maybe 3 to 5 reps of something, and then we're done for right now. We can come back to it in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe a couple hours. But it's always important to let them think in the way that is natural to them. Like right now, she's sniffing. Good job being a dog. But also, I want you to notice, this leash is nice and loose. Also, the fact that she will just stand, A+. Because being able to stand and be patient, like, I don't know, let's pretend it's spring or fall, and I have a sweatshirt on. I need to stop and take said sweatshirt off. This happens all the time. I need to be able to stand in one spot. Good girl. It's okay, she has a little itch. I need to be able to stand in one spot, take my sweatshirt off, or, you know, if my dog poops, I got to pick up the poop. I need them to be able to stand in one spot and not try to rip out of my hands and rip all the skin off my fingers with the leash while I'm trying to do a simple task. Good girl. But being patient is the only way to get a dog to move forward nicely on a leash.